Fuck you, Bruce.
We're getting ready to start.
We're on. All right, this is Derek.
This is Bruce, your favorite of everything that goes bump in the night.
Chugging.
Yeah, sorry, I was taking me a good old cherry Coke.
All right, what do you want to start out with?
Actually, man, I'm actually kind of excited to hear what everybody's favorite horror movie. I know what my go-time favorite horror series has definitely got to be the always been a Freddy fan, man. Any of the Elm Street.
Even the remakes?
When it comes to remakes, man, I'm gonna have to go Rob Zombie.
The Rob Zombie ones.
I love the Halloween Rob Zombies. 2, not so much, but I loved 1, man. It was perfectly twisted for me.
Is he making another one? Do you know?
I don't know if he's remaking anymore, but he did just put out 13. Or not 13.
13.
Yeah, it was 13. And no, not 13. What was that one he just put out? 31 maybe?
31.
I think so, but it was fantastic, man.
The background character is, what's his name?
His name is Jacob Townsend, a.k.a. Whale Slayer.
So if you hear a guy in the background, that's him.
Yeah,
I don't care if he talks.
Don't mind him too much. He's I think he's getting on some gears, to be honest with you. It's usually what he does on Sundays.
Got in gears.
But what's yours? What's your all-time go-to horror series?
Friday the 13th.
All right, understandable. Some Mr. Voorhees.
Yeah, I'm a big guy, so he's a big guy.
Works, though. But wasn't he played by like 3 or 4 different actors throughout his like span?
He's there's 5. There's 5, and the first Jason actually has a band called the First Jason.
Really?
Yeah, his band is the First Jason.
I had no idea about that.
And they're remaking another one. I think it's coming out this year. They're rebooting it again.
Anything's got to be better than Jason X.
Jason X was fun.
It was funny.
It was fun.
You had to be inebriated, consumed, or then some to enjoy that one. Jason in space, man. Come on. What are they going to do? Jason versus Alien next? When we did Alien versus Predator, we can go Jason versus Alien.
They have Jason versus Freddy versus Ash.
Versus who?
Ash from the Evil Dead.
Oh.
In a comic book series. And he's also faced Michael Myers.
Now, see, I knew he did the Michael Myers verse off.
And Ash is versus the Reanimator. He's also versus the Reanimator. But I think because we're going to lead into paranormal after this. And if you can't understand me, I'm mumble mouth, so you can probably understand Bruce. I'm loud. He's loud too.
I just like the sound of my own voice, so this is going to be on repeat for me all the time now. I'm just going to the podcast on repeat all the time. Surround sound. Anybody comes to visit, because I enjoy the sound of my own voice. Sorry if you don't.
This is technically the 3rd podcast, but it's the 2nd one because I didn't trust the 2nd one. Sorry, Yates. I know you're listening to this.
Sorry, buddy. Love you, man. Miss you.
Okay. On the subject of let's see what else. We had the new Resident Evil game and movie coming out. The last Resident Evil movie.
Did you? I actually one of the Extinction is on Netflix right now.
Is that the?
It's the desert. Well, they're all in the desert.
One?
I think it is the 3rd one. They're all in the desert.
Yeah.
And I was watching that last night, and I was getting amped up. Just got Resident Evil 4 for the Xbox One, the remastered.
The remastered one. Yeah.
And I have not sat down and had the time to play it yet, but I keep having just wonderful fantasies of it. I cannot wait to just sit down and that'd be my veg go-to. Just sit down and be like, all right, I'm going to relive my lonelyhood as a child, but now I'm going to have people around, and I'm going to force them to watch me play this.
I never beat Resident Evil 4. I beat 5, but you know that.
We played 5 to death.
Yeah.
I loved 5. 6 broke my heart, though.
I didn't play 6 because it sucked.
It was really bad.
It come down to it.
But did you get to play the live trailer for for 7?
I played it in VR.
All right. Well, you know what?
Yes.
Nobody likes you now. You're a horrible human being, and I'm insanely jealous.
The only issue I had with the VR one was the idea that me being me, I turned around to see if the woman's legs were dangling behind my back, and they weren't. And they were just like, where is she?
Then they're gone.
They're
All
gone.
right, there we go.
But it was cool that Yates was watching me. He was watching the TV, and he couldn't see the little Spider Woman coming across the screen, but I could.
See, I haven't got to mess with any of the VR stuff yet because it actually kind of freaks me out a little bit.
Yeah.
I do have the lovely Echo device.
Yeah.
And the Skynet thing is getting too real for me.
Yeah.
Got one of those little Cosmo robots. My buddy's got one.
Yeah.
And it's sitting over there underneath my TV right now. And it is terrifying because it now talks to you. And they're integrating Cosmo.
Furby.
into my Echo. Yeah, but it moves around while you're sleeping. So I'm calling it Gremlin.
It's fine.
Also, by the way,
how many brownie points am I down?
we have a system on our lovely little Echo device that gives brownie points and whatnot. And just because he is the way he is and likes to be background noise, he's down negative 1,000 points right now.
Points.
Like, it's getting to the point, man, where some of the old action movies are actually becoming my horror films. Dude, Transformers is, or not Transformers. Yeah, I would love Transformers. That'd be great.
Transformers is a horror movie.
No, Terminator, man. That stuff's coming like right around the corner. Think about it. I have the box in my apartment right now, sitting right there, staring at us.
If you're going to,
it's that black cylinder.
Oh, it's that.
Yes, it's the Echo. Don't say her name. She will start talking and integrate.
You just said it like several times.
No, her name is not Echo.
Okay.
Her name is something else.
Okay.
But she will get involved and she will override your computer, apparently. She overrides that TV.
That's creepy.
See? Skynet is real.
Which is right, because I've heard like that story about the woman going to Target.
And it becoming self-aware.
And sending them coupons.
It will actually, that's an app you can actually install on it. It will learn. It knows. It will learn your come homes. Like when I worked this amazing second surge shift. So I get home anywhere between 2:30 in the morning and 5 in the morning.
Yeah.
And she knows when I open the door just from the sound. Like if nobody's been here or anything like that, when I walk in the door, she'll welcome me into the house. She'll turn the kitchen light on for me, and she'll start playing whatever music I was the last station I was just listening to on my Pandora.
We're going into, I don't know too much scary cyber.
It terrifies me, man, just because it's here. I was worried about the zombies, and then I got excited about the zombies. And now it's technology I'm becoming afraid of. I'm going to be that dude out in the cabin with a shotgun saying, "Get off my yard." That's going to be me.
Yeah, it's probably going to be a lot of people.
I'm getting to that point. I mean, I'll make it for a while. I like my own cooking, so.
Yeah.
But we've also got, integrating into that, you've also got to worry about what is out there, man.
Are we talking about space now?
Oh, no. You can keep space. I'm talking about, like, what is here on Earth.
Oh.
I mean, you hear all the time people got ghosts and demons and, the metaphors. We fight with our own demons. And
yeah.
I mean, some people take that metaphorically. Some of us, unfortunately, have to take that in a literal sense.
Yeah, playing with messing with their own, or fighting with their own demons.
I mean, you can take that as their habits, their inhibitions. My lovely addiction to nicotine and alcohol. Then you've got some people who, we've got several friends, and I've experienced on several occasions.
We've all, I don't know anybody else's in this 26 subscribers that I have on this channel.
We love you all, by the way.
But I know majority of them I know. I know Yates has had some, and I might do a...
You put your hand away from your mouth.
Of course I have it when I'm thinking. That's why I have that.
I know, we stroke the beard.
That's why I have that. That's why I have a beard. I can't grow anything anywhere else. I have the Jew cap.
Thank you for that.
It has to go somewhere.
Yates, he's experienced on several occasions.
I don't know if he's experienced anything lately. I blame him for a lot of my seeing, sensing, and all this shit that I see. The first curse word of the podcast.
Fuck yes.
Second.
Damn it.
But I've seen the. I don't know if you've heard about the light of Boonville.
I have heard it. It has not been one of the ones I've actually chased.
I have seen it. I was coming. Yates knows who this is. I was coming home from Boonville when Ben Berry was a good friend of ours. I don't know if you know who Ben Berry is.
Yes, I do.
But anyway, we won't
rest in pieces.
Say that name. He's not dead, but he will be dead if Yates finds him.
Like I said, rest in pieces.
But I was coming home from his house when we were on good terms, and I was driving on, I can't think of that road by all means, the straight shot from Boonville. You take one road. I can't think of. I'm horrible.
Boonville, New Harmony?
Sure. There's a straight line of highway. I was driving home, and I was going straight down to like Best Buy, and it was following me. I stopped. I pulled over. Am I getting pulled over by a cop?
Is somebody on me?
It
Like,
was,
is
it was
somebody right
red.
here?
Like I haven't drank. You know, I snap out of my alcohol. I can take my alcohol.
I've seen that. It's quite a show, actually.
And a lot of people. Faith Cody hates it.
I think it's hilarious. You can be slobbering, falling, and then the next minute, argue with Einstein.
It's Yates. It's obvious.
We blame all of our mistakes on Yates now.
Well, when he came home from your house one day trying to talk through his vomit, I knew I had to sober up and take care of him.
By the way, we did figure out why everything at that house was always magnified. Your good mood was always the best you ever had, and your worst mood was always terrible. My old house actually was a conduit. It was a wellspring of.
That's the reason why we called the road leading up to your house the rape road.
The rape road. It was a mile-long gravel driveway surrounded by trees
and trucks,
and no one could hear you scream. It was fantastic. Oh, and to get down it, you had to have four-wheel drive.
Yes.
Because the potholes would eat anything smaller than a four-wheel drive vehicle.
And that white car I still drive. I still have that white car.
I'm surprised that we got it out of a pothole or two.
Yeah. I'm surprised that thing's not dead. I went through a car before that one died.
I mean...
But I've always felt... My hand's on my mouth again. I've always felt someone over at Bruce's old house. I have not really felt... Yates is just powered by negative. But that's his own... We can go on a whole nother topic.
We need him here for that one.
That's a Yates podcast.
Oh, Mr. Yates, you are with us in our thoughts. We understand you're too good to be with us today.
P.S. Charlie. Did you ever name identities? Or do you don't want to grow that attached?
I have actually had one since I was a very, very, very young child, and it has been around as long as I can remember. I was never afraid of it until I got a little bit older, and my little brother came. I guess was starting to grow up a little bit. I used to be a very emotional creature. I had to learn to shut all that down as I got older. That
seems to feel it a lot.
Mine actually feeds on chaos, and I actually just call him Buddy.
Buddy?
And I don't refer to him yeah, don't worry about Buddy. It's my buddy. It's, it's like when I talk to him, it's, hi, Buddy. You kind of need to cool it down a little bit because things are getting... It's the literal sense of fighting with my demons. Several occasions, and he can manifest other. I want to call them individuals. I'm sure there's specters, whichever words you'd like to use. The driveway, for example, at the old house, you could be going down it anytime, day, night, didn't matter, and you would see 3 children.
Yeah,
and it was always a combination of a boy and 2 girls, 2 boys and a girl, 3 girls, 3 boys. It was always a combination of 3 children. And it was terrifyingly awkward because it was children of the corn style, man. They would just stand there and watch you drive down the driveway. You stop to get out and help them or whatever, be like, hey, you lost? And they just wouldn't be there, but they'd be in your rearview mirror.
I've always had shadow people. Which is a darker route than children.
Mine is always that's Buddy. He looks very much like a bear, kind of breeded with a wolf, like a chimera aspect in that general sense.
So, is he always black?
He's always black.
So do you see the different color variations?
I actually have. I do.
So what do you believe white is?
White means no, in my opinion.
Okay, because
I've never had any downside or negative effects or even a feel from the white. I could possibly see maybe mischievous, but usually when they're out just to kind of cause a little bit of a ruckus, tip over a book or knock a glass off a counter.
Yeah.
They've usually got a yellow hue to them. They're still white, but it's a yellow tint more. But the one and only time I've ever seen pure white was, I think it was my grandpa. I was the only grandchild he ever got to see.
Yeah. And
when I was real young, I was very unpopular. Not unlike today, but at least now I'm big enough to choose to be unpopular. Yeah. I didn't have a lot of friends. I was very, very alone. I didn't have neighbors or anything like that. I lived out, I had nothing around me for 90 acres but woods and trees and fields, and the closest Walmart was almost a 15, 20 minute drive, not including the mile-long gravel driveway to find the main road.
Yeah.
But I would sit and talk with him, and he never really spoke. That was the only issue with, he never spoke. I never heard or sensed any. I was just comfortable. I was just I felt like everything was going to be okay for one more day.
So you've seen black, white. Have you seen red? Red's, you know what it's normally designated to, what it's good with. You know what I mean? It's evil.
It is the purest of. The only problem is the only time I actually ever see the metaphorical see red is when I have just blown my fuse to the final extent. When I'm about to just do something that should probably put me on an FBI watch list. Like, I'm gonna do something.
So now, do you believe that is completely apparition, or is it from your rage? See, that's a lot of thing.
That's where I'm.
Do you see it when you're happy?
Well,
when you see them, do you see white, red?
I see them. Yeah, I see them all the time. When I'm happy, when I'm sad. When I was younger, I didn't realize that. They describe people. You and I, and we are Caucasian or white.
Yeah.
When they would talk about Indians, the Indians were red.
Yeah.
Well, when we were talking about that in school, when they would mention those colors,
yeah,
I had already seen all those. I was like, oh yeah, I've got a red guy lives in my woods. Well, that was incredibly racist, Mr. Warner. No, there's a thing in my woods, and he emits this red aura, and they're like,
we are really close to Chattanooga. I mean, that road that stretches where it happened, the bloodiest, the Red Lake. Mm-hmm. You can't get out of your car. You have to drive straight.
Yeah,
they're not allowed. You're not allowed out of your car.
I mean, you also got to think about, we're not terribly far from Chicago, and that was the Valentine's Day Massacre.
Yeah, we're around a lot.
We're dead center Midwest, man. We are the focal point for let's go batshit crazy.
Yep.
Let's stir all kinds of hell up. And I've unfortunately, I had to learn growing up that what was there and what wasn't by quote unquote normal standards. Because when you're sitting there having a conversation with nothing and people see you talking to nothing, it gets very, they want to put you in a white jacket that ties behind your back.
Okay.
Or put you on meds.
Yeah.
And if I'm going to take meds, I want it to relieve some pain in a shoulder or a joint, or I want it to make me see some much cooler shit than I'm already seeing.
So you're more of the spiritual. Have you seen any other?
I've seen creatures. I have seen.
Because you're more of a. You sound like you're more spiritual.
I am anti-religious. Understand that right off the bat.
I am in the same position.
Understand, I'm not atheist.
You're I forget what they're called.
I could not explain what the hell I am. I usually don't bring this up in normal conversation.
Yes, okay.
Because it's.
I don't either. Believe me, I don't either.
It's very hard to explain some of this to people and then look at you and go.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's you're agnostic, is what you're going for.
Yeah.
But I'm not even that. I was born and raised Catholic.
Yeah.
I don't believe in any form of organized religion whatsoever. You tell me how to live my life, I'm gonna go by the same one simple rule.
Yeah.
I'm gonna treat others how I want to be treated. Other than that...
And there's no hate in the comments. Because this is YouTube.
That's fine. You guys can hate on me all you want. I promise I will haunt your fucking nightmares. But...
Thumbs up for haunting nightmares.
But... He runs hell.
He runs hell.
My friends make the jokes all the time. I'm the crypt keeper. They're afraid I'm going to go to hell because Satan's afraid I'm going to take over. All those comments religiously just get thrown. There we go, religion again. Just constantly get thrown at me. I haven't always been. When I kind of grew up from the shy little kid that had nobody, I very quickly became somebody that nobody wanted to be around. Because I would much rather spend my time with chaos, corruption, the darker side of life, the part that nobody really wants to admit or see, than pretend to be this social, hi, how are you? Oh my God, I haven't seen you in forever. How are the kids? Oh my God, I will stab you. I hate that nonsense. I have no problem being socially, 2 points. I have no problem being like socially acceptable and talking to people. But when do I get to sit down and be like, all right, dude, there is something crawling on the ceiling over there, and I recommend not going into that room for a little bit because you're probably going to end up getting a phone call where someone has died. What do you mean? Pretty sure there's a death omen in the living room. Just hang out over here for a little bit. Like,
yeah, chill out here.
Yeah, I get those constantly. And anytime you put Yates and I at the same house, at that old house, oh God, dude, it was a vortex. Literally, I could walk around my own backyard and be like, I can't walk over there because I don't know what the fuck that is. But that is terrifying. I'm not going over there. And I'm cool. I'm more than okay with the stuff that scares the shit out of normal people.
I just think
I want to go give it a hug. And when I'm the guy that's like, just stay the fuck away from that.
I think Yates negative yours on mine.
And transference is quite possible.
It's really weird. I met Yates and he just pushed everything onto me.
I have I've been called a conduit, and it follows me. I have one personal, I guess, demon in a sense.
So yourself is haunted.
I am not haunted. I have an attachment to one individual spirit of sorts.
Some cases that's haunted.
It's also some cases I'm gonna turn this on you. Witches believed in spirit animals.
Yes.
It could very simply be my spirit creature of a sense.
What, a bear?
It's a panther, wolf, bear look-alike thing, man. It's big, black, and it...
Man, bear, pig?
Man, bear, pig.
It's man,
2
bear,
points.
pig.
Somebody made the comment.
Thank you, South Park. I respect you even more now. But it was just, it's been around for years and years and years, and it's not usually there when my life is going great. It's there. I know he's there. I can always feel him. But the more my life seems to just go up in smoke and what the fuck, he seems to get more vivid. He likes to literally just sit on the couch and fuck with me. I've come home on several occasions to the house being completely ransacked, flipped shit over. And I'm like, well, since I've moved in here, it's happened twice. And those were also some nights when I would make the mistake to talk to somebody I know I shouldn't talk to, that would get emotions involved, or I'd have one of those nights at work where I was like, you know what? Cutting your brake line sounds like a real good option right now.
Yeah, that a lot, yeah.
And the angrier I'd get and the more things I'd get stressed and chaotic in my life, this dude would be here. And the most vivid I've ever seen him, he's got something like a scar or something on his side, on both sides, almost like a brand. And it's a compass with like arrows pointing in every single direction.
Not a pentagram?
Not a pentagram. To me, it looks like a compass because the main arrows are, look on a compass, you've got your north, south, east, and west. But his got arrows pointing in every direction. Like 6 or 7 different directions. And he's got it's a swirl in the middle, almost like a old Celtic rune, but I don't think anybody in my bloodline is Celtic. Granted, I would not be surprised. I am a mutt. My dad used to be able to see things. The older he got, it fell off on him. But I believe children see them as well.
Well, they do. I mean, exactly.
You get negative points for that one.
I always get negative points.
It's like when you see animals, they always see them.
Yeah, you ever seen your dog sit there and stare at nothing for a while? It's like, what are you looking at? What's bad is when you and your dog are sitting there staring at the same thing and everybody else is looking at you going, what the fuck are you looking at?
I growled at a corner one day and I grabbed the pistol and I knew it wouldn't do anything.
I
didn't have a shotgun full of rock salt.
The old legend at the old house was something kind of creepy. I actually did my homework. Did my homework at Willard Library. I won't go back into Willard Library anymore. I don't care what you guys say about the Gray Lady. She's mean.
I've never felt anything there.
I have.
Neither
I
do
have.
ghost hunters.
I have wandered around there, and it's only one particular area in that whole place that you ever feel anything. And and trust me, I was not looking for it. There's a fine line when you go looking for something to, when I'm going to look for it, I kind of turn up everything, kind of open myself.
What the?
That is time to open a bottle cap. That means somebody's, trying to get a hold of me in some way, shape, or form on some form of social media.
Oh, mine's a chocobo.
Chocobo! I want to ride my chocobo all day. But there was an old lady, and she wasn't old at the time. She's definitely old now. She used to.
Are we doing the what was it, lady?
We called her the Gray Lady at the old house.
I mean, everybody. Okay, go on.
No, I switched off the Gray Lady.
I thought you were talking about.
No. I was
like, wait, what?
You leave my ADHD alone, damn it. We're gonna get to
right there with you.
We're gonna get to a topic some point.
I'm just more into something else than you are.
Hey, you are more than welcome to bring that up.
I'm more in cryptic than the animal side. And
we'll get into that. We'll get into the animal side.
Because I've seen some shit. So
I've got some stuff that old house, man. I can't go back down that driveway anymore. For one.
Yeah.
But I've seen.
Have you seen 3 red eyes?
I saw 3 horses with 1 eye each. Does that count?
Yeah, I call him Sam. And I think you can pinpoint why I call him Sam.
I love it. That is fantastic. Now, are you going to explain why you call him Sam?
Sam Fisher. The goggles on Sam Fisher's head. I call him Sam. That's how I diffuse a lot of negative things towards things.
You got to relate it to something that brings you joy. I'm going to have to try that one.
Yeah, I call him Sam. I have one that's called Sam. Faith knows what I'm talking about when you see the 3-eye things. I've seen a full one.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm going to say lucky enough not to have seen a full.
He played with fire. He was fun.
I had one where we had a bonfire one night.
Yes, I will be the person to go hug one.
Yeah, I told you I'm the dude that will go hug the weird. But anything with odds.
Yeah.
Anything that's got an odd number, 3-legged, or like any 3-legged creatures, I try my best to stay this side of that fence. Yeah. Something about odd numbers. I don't know what it is. I don't know why, but I've never had a good feeling.
Is that with dogs with wheelchairs? They're so cute. I mean,
come on.
The France, they're trying to go, and I'm like, oh, come here.
You're so precious. And you're not going to get fun, but you're so precious.
You roll over my foot, and it hurts.
No, it's something about the paranormal 3s, man. I mean, it's got 3 eyes, 3 arms.
If you go to another 3, it's going to go to 666, if you believe that's his number. If you actually read the Bible, it's not his number.
It's not his number at all, actually.
666 is not his number.
The 7th son of the 7th son of the 7th son of the 7th son.
And some people even say it was flipped. It was 9999.
You're interpreting something that's been a dead language when it was written. I mean, the Tower. I mean, you go by the Tower of Babel essence and that era when language and all that was formed and created and spread throughout the world. And
it's like the Bible's been changed so many times.
What we have now isn't even the Bible that was written. We don't have all of the books and what is known as the Holy Bible. We don't have that. You've got the King James Bible. You've got
New King James.
You got the New King James Bible, and then for some reason we decided to have the Old Testament, and then hey, we're just going to randomly flip everything and throw out a New Testament. We're going to get back into the religion aspect. I don't believe it, but at the same time,
I believe that there is a higher being.
I will go with higher being. I will accept
that word I cannot pronounce.
Yeah, Cthulhu. But Cthulhu, you're agnostic.
Thank you.
Are we going with Cthulhu? I mean, we can.
Well, Cthulhu, I don't believe in Cthulhu.
But, come on.
He's a squid. He's cool.
Oh, hell, Cthulhu.
Oh, fuck yeah.
But Cthulhu, what mythology is he?
I honestly am not entirely sure where he came from. He's not Roman or Greek. I know my Roman.
He's a god, isn't he?
Dude, you're gonna throw me. That is the one aspect I have not actually followed. Because to be completely honest with you,
I don't look them up because I can't spell Cthulhu all the time.
I think it starts with
I'm
a
pretty sure
CH.
it's like an emo thing.
I haven't seen it at Hot
At least
Topic.
that's what South Park said.
I haven't
It's
seen it
emo
at Hot
thing.
Topic. So, I mean, and I was just at Hot Topic. I'm
Everybody
like the
loves
pastiest white fat guy you never see.
So an emo thing.
Yeah, but he's wearing blue, so he's not entirely emo.
It's my work shirt.
He had to check the tag to see if it was his work shirt or not.
This is all I wear is my work shirts.
For everybody to know, he actually had to check the label to see if it was a work shirt or not.
It's inside out. It's H.P. Lovecraft. It's created by H.P. Lovecraft.
Well, he was also batshit insane.
It was fun.
Oh, he was fantastic. I love him. Don't think I mean insane is a bad thing. Those are my cuddle buddies.
Insane.
Jesus Christ, if it wasn't for insanity, I would still be a virgin.
It feels like we have been going on for longer than 30 minutes.
We have just bum rushed a boatload of topics, to be honest with you, but I kind of want to get a little darker with it, man. I want to hear what's your darkest experience with. Like, what's the one thing that you try to? I mean, we all have to find a way to soften up our blows, but what's your deepest, darkest kind of? All right, this is that thing that I really don't get too much into, and it's not.
I'm a very open guy. You know that.
I know that, but I was also going to go with when I go dark, I don't mean walking into your grandma getting out of the shower. I don't want to go that dark.
She's dead, so I don't have to worry about that. And my step grandmother is in a nursing home, so I really don't have to worry about that because I don't visit her.
There we go. The darkest thing in Derek's life. I refuse to visit my step grandmother.
If you call her that, I mean, I don't know what you call her. Whatever. I don't hate her. It's Newburgh, and I don't want to go that far, even though I can go that far to go to GameStop. It's just down the road. I'd rather go to GameStop. Games.
I want enjoyment, not to smell old people.
I worked at a nursing home for 2 years. I've already done that.
I remember that.
Yeah, it was.
You smelled like medicine and applesauce.
It was game crazy time. I love the applesauce down there. It came in like pans. Come on.
You always smelled like old people and applesauce.
It came in cans.
I'm just saying.
Like big pitchers of applesauces. Mashed potatoes, I bring them up in bags. Food topic.
Hello, foodies. Welcome to the.
Nightmares of old people.
Not after you see one having sex.
There we go. The darkest moment now in Derek's
No, I
life.
say bravo. If you can get it up at that age of 90, go for it, but don't do it in the hallway.
Man, you take it where you can get it. Let's be completely honest now.
But it'd be like. It wouldn't be. It would just. It'd be like you.
The definition of shooting blanks?
Yes. And it's like if you take a lot of chalk and go.
Yeah,
It'd be like that.
Clap the erasers together in school when you were a little kid. Yeah, it's fantastic.
But going besides having old people fucking.
What's the one thing that scared you, man?
Old people fucking.
I was going more along the lines of,
Okay.
in a paranormal sense, have you ever actually had one that's made your skin crawl or given you that feeling where you're like, I kind of need to leave this area? Like, I mean, you can get petty with it and be those guys who are like, be that aspect of it's like the cold chills in a room, the randoms.
I've had the sleep.
The night terrors.
I don't even know. Well, it was between the sleep and the awake, and I don't know if I can categorize to this being asleep or awake. But I saw a white orb enter my bedroom and exit and go upstairs, and I could not move. And I felt like my lungs were saying "Mom," and it didn't come out. Nothing came out.
I had to quit taking Chantix.
But I remember that
because I couldn't decipher what was real and what was a dream anymore.
Yeah, that wasn't the scary part too.
That was
scariest.
When I was on Chantix, man, that it amplified everything I had going for me, and
I used you as like a pinpoint at work at Walgreens.
Huh?
It's like a Dr. Sell Chantix. My friend Bruce.
Yeah.
Saw shit.
And the worst part was I've always seen things, but I've never been afraid of them.
Mm-hmm.
Not until I got older and finally realized that, you might want to look into what some of this is. I have to say the one time that I truly did get completely that was a piss poor example of a burp, sir. Oh, come on. That was not a leather couch, y'all. Just wanted to let you know that. That was a wood chair. That is, I don't think it's chair anymore. Now it's kindling. But when I was younger, oh man, little brother who now stands, 6'6" and looks like a damn beanpole. He was still wearing, footy pajamas. Well, so it might have been yesterday, but he was very young. It was back when we lived at the old house. He had just gotten his own room. Like, him and I had bunk beds forever and ever and ever. But he had just finally gotten his own room. And he used to... remember when you'd cover up your PlayStation so nobody would see the light was on when you didn't have a memory card to save that spot?
Yeah.
The PlayStation 2s?
Yeah.
You had to, Mom and Dad wouldn't let us play it so late into the night or what, this and that. So we'd cover up the PlayStation if we knew they were going to fall asleep and we were going to turn it back on. Well, I woke up one night and just had this just set straight up. Just terrified. I didn't know what was going on. I was like, I've never in my life had an anxiety attack, but this is going to be fantastic.
Keep on going.
And
keep on going.
I feel like I'm getting touched. Oh God, he tickles. I love it. But we were walking through, and so I started walking through the house, and I smelled something. Something smelled hot.
Sorry.
You know what I mean by that? Like electrical. Something smells hot.
I was in the house.
Oh yeah, mostly about that house.
I know I was there that night.
No, not this night. You weren't.
Okay.
This was just
hot. I wanted to be. Oh. Anyway, go on.
Derek, anytime you walk into the room, the temperature goes up at least 10 degrees.
That's right. Nipples always break ice.
He makes it very difficult to have any kind of serious conversation, y'all. I just want to let you know that.
I love my life.
I love your life as well, sir. Sharing the love. But so I started going through the house. I was like, man, did we leave the stove on? Is the dryer overheating again? That was always, something was always breaking at that house. And it was, who knows how old that house was, to be honest with you. Yeah. Well, actually, I do know how old that house was. My dad built that house. It's the ground he built that house on. That was a fucking mistake. But I was walking through the house, and this house was 6,000 plus square feet, 3 floors.
Big fucking house.
There was 8 bathrooms in this son of a bitch.
You never find them all.
I mean, I had friends that would walk out of one room and be like, all right, wait, which way do I go to get back downstairs? You go that way. Like, it was...
Had a downstairs?
Had a basement, yes.
I don't remember that.
The basement...
No, I do.
Before we actually moved out of that house, the basement kind of became a lovely little...
satanic ritual room.
Very much of a satanic ritual room. And we didn't do it necessarily so much to worship Satan. We truly did it to try and fuck with the people who bought that house after I left.
Who bought the house?
They've already moved out, actually.
Is it just there now?
I believe it is in possession of the bank.
Oh.
I believe that the bank is now trying to get rid of it yet again. The people that had bought it were there for about 8 months, and rumor around town is that things were uncomfortable. Nothing could seem to ever get accomplished at that house. And in my sense, everything at that house magnified. I mean, hell, Yates had Jedi powers one night, which is a story for a completely other night.
He almost choked on his own throw up because he wanted to look upside down.
He did want to look upside
down. As I had to prop his head up every time he wanted to go like, hey.
Yeah, he was laying
horizontal on your table.
On my table. This table, actually. It is this table.
Was it this table?
It is this table.
It was outside.
Yeah, it was. There was a lot of alcohol at that old house. Like, was it this table? No, it was the white table.
I just remember smelling the entire keg one night on the garage.
That would be him.
And somebody freaked out.
That would be the lovely Mr. Jacob Townsend over there. Decided to not get the tap closed all the way because it didn't have the spring on it.
We woke up the next morning.
So we woke up the next morning, and our entire keg had dumped.
I knew I remembered him from somewhere.
He's the one that made us run out of beer for the first time ever in the history of history. We did not have alcohol for a day at that place.
Oh well, shit happens.
Because who was it? They screamed.
I can't remember. There was a lot of people at that old house, man.
Oh, I know.
All the time. Especially after we knew that we were going to get rid of that house.
Well, I didn't really know. I didn't really hang out with you before that.
It wasn't.
A whole month it was a nonstop of just partying.
Yeah.
And every weekend it was the final party. And then people would come back. I thought last week was the final party. No,
So did we.
Weekend is.
Thought last week was the last party. Yeah, so did we, but the bank hasn't come and taken the house yet, so we're going to keep partying it up. I was ready to get out of there and just start over, just get anywhere else.
Yeah.
And by ready, he means taking tractors with everything and just throwing it on a burn pile.
Yeah.
And burning everything.
You had a lot of burn piles out there.
Yeah. It's called Burning Away Memories.
Yeah.
Fantastic little purge.
It's children's toys.
Yeah.
Everything.
Scrapbooks, picture frames.
Is that where I lost the rhino? Okay.
That is.
Was that where I lost the little plush rhino?
Yes, it was.
Why did I just remember that?
I don't know, but I remember you in that damn plush rhino.
Because it sounded like Godzilla.
Yeah.
I was like, it sounded like a retarded Godzilla, Bruce.
It did sound like a retarded Godzilla.
That's a Godzilla with Down syndrome.
As it burnt.
Little brother!
As it burnt, it sounded like a retarded Godzilla. It was fantastic. But there's always been those. We can't stay on topic at all.
No, we can't.
It's fantastic. We knew we weren't going to be able to, and it just makes it so much better.
I will say I had a paranormal experience.
Bring it.
Bring it.
It was actually whenever I was sleeping one night. I'd say it was more of a
Bruce.
I'd say it was more of a night terror, and it was actually at my own house, so it wasn't with Bruce.
Bruce.
Which
I know,
was shocking.
I still don't put it past him.
Yeah.
I did roofie.
But I was actually sleeping one night and was having, I can't remember the dream, but I do remember what happened. I was having a dream of me falling asleep in my bed, and something wrapped its arm around me and started dragging me down through my bed, and I remember waking up and I was actually forcing into my bed in real life, and it freaked me out.
Well, they actually have those. Oh, there's a medical term for it, but
sleep paralysis.
Yeah, but in a sense, literally, people believe it's a demon sitting on their chest and holding them down.
And I started like kind of shaking a little bit too. Whenever
have you heard of the sound of a head explosion? Have you ever heard of that?
The combustion,
in your head.
Yes, I've heard of it.
I've never had that happen to me.
No, I've always been able to kind of manipulate it to a sense where I can mosey it either to benefit me or to fuck off.
How do you fuck off an explosion?
Before it reaches, dude, watch me. We share the same first name. I can make shit happen.
That's true.
Boom.
Every action character
and Batman.
And Batman.
Never forget the Batman aspect of my life.
Bruce Willis wasn't Batman.
Bruce Willis was not in Batman.
No.
But you know what?
He would be a kick-ass Batman.
I want to get some hate comments going on this thread. So I'm going to have to say that George Clooney was the best Batman.
Oh, I love that.
You know. Okay.
That is a joke, by the way. But I truly do.
We can't go on this subject because you know me in the comic books.
I know, but I'm still stuck on when it was Bruce that we're not getting onto that. Our whole thing was supposed to be supernatural today.
Yes,
we will have a whole nother podcast. We can talk everybody's ear off for days. We can run through 9 podcasts right now, and
if you want to finish up the paranormal part, we're at 43.
I don't know what that means, so I'll finish my little.
We have 2 hours on this computer.
Wonderful. I will go ahead and tell.
If it doesn't fall asleep.
The lovely little story of Little Brother, which is the one and only time when I started to figure out I need to do some research on the paranormal aspects. Now understand, my little brother towers over me by a whole head now. I stand 6'2", and it feels like he's like 9 feet long. And he literally is just like a giant among human beings anymore, and it's hilarious. And him and I weren't always on the best of terms. I mean, he's always been my little brother, but he's not always been my friend by any means. If you're fixing drinks, you make one for all of us, goddammit.
You can't drink alcohol, so fuck off.
Today.
Are you packing ice over there?
He's mixing, I believe it's what, a whiskey and ski?
Oh.
Red Stag and
Well, I'm the person that
Cherry Pepsi.
does A&W and
Corona.
Corona.
Why?
You remember
I
that?
remember your drink mix.
Yeah.
Why
So-
the hell would you want
Shut
to
your
spray
filthy whore
some-
mouth until you try it.
I was
So,
curious.
we're gonna have to bring a little brother onto the next podcast.
They're fine with me.
For sure.
Not
At least
little
the next-
brother. I remember when he was shorter.
Yeah, he's not anymore. It's like Little John. You know, Little John was a giant for Robin Hood, like in that
That's
time frame.
true.
So, and I will always call him Little Brother, and people started calling him that, and the nickname stuck, and I like it, and yeah.
And he loves
But
it.
so I was wandering around the house, woke up in a complete fit of terror, smelled something hot. We're back on that story. So if you weren't listening before this, you've got some catching up to do, boys and girls. He was. I remember that he was old enough to. He was in school, like he was in kindergarten, preschool, 4th, 5th grade. I mean, he wasn't too old yet, but he was old enough to still be wearing. And this is not a joke, boys and girls. Lion King pajamas, and they were not the footy kind. They were the matching, one like they had the
onesies?
not the onesies, but they were
Tunics.
pants and the long sleeve shirt, and they were white and they had Lion King characters all over them. And I will forever remember those, and I don't know why, but those are burnt into my fucking brain.
And he was singing Twiddle My Tongue.
You know what else is burning into your head? Me wearing one. It's like a bra.
I know that was actually incredible. I got a little hard. I'm not gonna lie to you. Little hard.
A chub.
Half
I got
chub.
the half chub.
Quarter chub.
Back
So-
on the story.
So we were, I smelled something hot, and I was wandering around the house trying to figure out what it was. And it was just one of those, like, I gotta find out what the smell is, man. And that house was huge. And I wandered room to room to room to room, trying to find what this smell was. I could not find it anywhere. So I was finally like, you know what? Little brother probably covered up the GameCube with a towel, or the PlayStation with a towel, left it on. He covered the exhaust fan, and it's probably starting to get hot or something like that. And so I went in and checked on him, and I lifted the towel. None of the systems were on. And I was actually probably, to be completely honest, I was going to do something incredibly hateful to him. I don't know, take his favorite stuffed animal and hang it from the ceiling fan in a noose. It was very dark in the house at the time. Like, it was nighttime, and nothing beat hearing him scream first thing in the morning after I had done some horribly mean prank to him. It got my day started on the exact wrong foot, and I loved it every day.
I love that feeling.
So I actually went over. I was gonna fuck with him, man. I'm not gonna lie. I was a hateful older brother, and I pulled his blanket back. I was gonna see which animal he was cuddling with, and all right, well, he's not on this side of the bed. Let's check the other side of the bed. So I walk over to the other side of the bed, and he's not on that side. He's not in bed anywhere. And so I start now. I'm like, I just walked through this entire house, and I didn't see him anywhere. And there was that big bay window at the top of the stairs. You
Yeah.
can see out into the front yard. And I'm walking there, and I'm getting ready to go downstairs, and I see something white just start slowly, very slowly, just kind of moseying across the front yard towards those old train tracks. And I was always told growing up, don't cross the tracks. You can go on the tracks, but don't cross the tracks. I've come to realize why now.
Mm-hmm.
But it's another story to go along with this one. I see this thing walking across the front yard. So me, being the uninformed, unintelligent individual that I am, first thing I do is grab my gun. Yes, I've had a gun since I was knee-high to corn, dude.
Well, I know that.
But I grab my gun, and I'm like, I'm going to go shoot me whatever the fuck is in my front yard. Because I can. So I'm walking outside. I walk out the front door, and I look over, and there is my little brother, a good 15 yards ahead of me, walking towards the tracks. I yell at him. Nothing. Scream at him. Nothing. Think about shooting him.
Nothing.
Didn't do it. Shot him once with a pellet gun, and he told on me, and I didn't get to see sunlight for like 6 months.
You could shoot him right behind like the kneecap.
I could have, and you know what? Now, as tall as he is, I realized that I probably should have then, so he wouldn't have surpassed me.
Yours would be lopsided.
Yeah, but you know what?
You just have to shoot both ankles.
I used to always threaten to cut him off at the knees if he ever got taller than me. But
from Hank Hill.
He decided to become, we're friends now. Not only just brothers, but he's actually my buddy. So, like, I almost feel bad doing it now. Plus, we have opposite tastes in individuals, like in preferences and, companionship and relationships. So we don't actually have to compete anymore or ever. So it's actually quite nice. It's one of us will always jump on the grenade for the other. But
I'll push you.
So I go and I start running at him because now I'm mad. He's got me up. He's got me out moving. I swear he's lit a fire somewhere in the house because I smelled that hot, which is what woke me up in the first place. So I'm going to go get him, and I'm screaming at him. And I'm running across the front yard as fast as I can, and I am going to just straight knock him out. Like, we're not going to, touch football, push down. I'm going to spear him like Goldberg would if it was his last day on Earth. And little brother makes it about 4 feet away from the dip that dropped down to the ravine that would come back up into the tracks.
Yeah.
He makes it about 4 feet away from there, and I just smear him, knock him down. I catch him, and out of nowhere, this bellowing, hard, raspy, just gargling laugh just starts to thunder through my chest and my head. Just painfully laughing. And I had been bullied for years and years and years. I used to be the short, fat kid the short, fat kid's made of. Mm-hmm. So when somebody would point and laugh at me or make fun of me in any way, I'd kind of lose my temper. I'd see red. And when I say I see red, I didn't, back to that earlier. It wasn't only just I would see red, but I would see those red figures around me much more vividly than I would when I wasn't angry.
Right.
And I had the issue, and I got little brother to the ground, and I put my knee in his back. Just put my knee straight into his back, and I could feel where this thing was, and it was sitting there right on the edge of the tracks, just laughing at me. And I made that kind of comment. I was like, you know what? If anybody's going to take little brother, it's going to be me. If anybody's going to put him down, it's going to be me. If he's going to go missing, it's going to be because of me, not because of some fucking thing on the other side of the tracks. Was my first real encounter, and I started screaming at it. I honestly don't really remember what I screamed at it other than the fact that he's mine.
Yeah.
It was like a possession battle for little brother.
It's mine. He's mine.
He's mine. If someone's going to take his life, if someone's going to put him down, if someone's going to end him, God damn it, it's going to be me.
Yeah.
He's my little brother. I haven't finished the job yet. If he's going to go down, damn it, it's going to be by my hand. I hope you're listening, little brother. That way you better not fucking go down before I get a hold of you. I do it out of love, but I'm going to be the reason. But I got him down, and this thing is laughing at me and taunting me. And I can't honestly remember, but I heard for the first time ever in my life full voices conversation with something, and it was coming from my chest, like right about sternum. You know when you got to slam on the brakes because something just ran out in front of you. That inhale, and it was my entire brain, my head felt like somebody was it was worse than any hangover I've ever had, and I am experienced some wonderfully.
Apparently I don't have any.
You don't. You're an asshole.
That sucks.
But I got little brother. I I started taunting the thing back. Took little brother. I carried him to the front porch. I made him walk his own happy ass up the stairs. He never woke up for any of this. He was in this state of just eyes open, staring. And there for when I first picked him up, he actually tried to fight me to get down, to get back across the tracks. But like I said, he used to be smaller than me. I mean, I could still take him, but I'm going to remember it now.
Yeah.
Then I could have just bad and, been good. I made him walk up the stairs. I put him back in bed. I covered him up. I didn't sleep the rest of that night because I kept waiting to hear him walk down the hall, go back down the stairs. Next morning, he gets in trouble for having grass stains on those white Lion King pajamas. And because Mom and Dad wanted to know how he did it and why he was outside in his pajamas and all that good stuff. And I just remember laughing because he had no idea. I still to this day don't think he actually remembers any of this actually happening other than the fact that I've told him. And to be completely honest, I do believe he overheard me tell this story before I actually ever told it to him himself.
Yeah.
I know little brother's had some experiences with them in the past.
Yeah.
But I hope it is nothing that I've had to go through. When people pull out a Ouija board, man, I get very uncomfortable very quickly because
I do too.
I know what is very possible for them to bring to this side.
Yeah.
And the worst part is it doesn't affect people. Like, it doesn't affect everyone.
Right.
But for those of us that it does affect, and those of us that are unfortunate enough to have that tie,
yeah,
I will smash a Ouija board over your head and watch it crumble into pieces and not feel bad. Because you know what? If you do pull that thing out and you happen to experience one of the bad ones, I hope to hell it feels like every time I've had to walk through
you'd
one
be
of them.
more of a dick because you have to say bye before you do that.
Yeah, pretty much. No, it wouldn't. It would be see you in a few.
Well, yeah.
I mean,
if you break it over, if you break it, it's not helpful.
Can't we do it once, though?
No, but it'd be feel really good to smash
Sorry,
a Ouija
I'm
board.
answering that.
Yeah, we
Come
don't.
on, Bruce, please. Once.
Little brother actually made a comment one time. He said, "Well, some friends when he pull out a Ouija board and drink wine." I was like, "No, it was bourbon." Excuse me. They wanted to do.
That's good stuff.
They wanted to do. I'm going to call it Ouija board and whiskey because his friends weren't intelligent enough to call it, but Ouija board and whiskey. You know, we have beers and gears. They want to do Ouija board and whiskey. So I kind of actually was very much against it, and he was thinking, he's like, "Man, I just want something to do. I'm just going to go do it." I was like, I haven't tied you up in years and left you in a dark closet for many years, but I'm honestly considering, because you know what? My luck, he'd do the Ouija board, they wouldn't experience anything, he'd come over, something would follow him, and I'd be stuck with it.
Yeah.
That was how it would go. And that was the most terrifying experience in my life when it came to any form of supernatural. And it was also, or any paranormal, but that was also when I learned to do my homework and research them and found out that there are things out there much darker than I have had to experience.
Yeah.
And I'm as tempted as I am to see them and possibly learn about them, I'm also old enough to know when to stop poking the bear.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that I'm not going to poke the bear. I just know when to stop poking the bear. If that makes sense to you.
Yeah, I have poked the bear one too many times.
Unless you get drinks in him, then he wants to keep going.
Yeah, don't put drinks in me, and then decide to bring up
Yeah,
paranormal
because
supernatural.
I'll knock it on.
And so will I. I will open that door.
I won't.
That's why he would always tell people, when you drink, don't piss off the spirits in the house.
I did. That was a warning. We had rules. We had the rules of the house. It was basic rule is kind of what happens here stays here. And that went so far as, we can joke about it now over the years, but there were some times where some not so pleasant adultery type things would happen. People would cheat on their spouses, things like that. And it was what happens here stays here for the simple fact that I didn't want the repercussions. As the host, I didn't want to hear, "You let my boyfriend cheat on me." No, sweetheart.
Apparently you and Griffey and Yates did something to me when I was asleep. I think in your dad's old office, and I didn't wake up for it.
No, you didn't.
So I don't know what happened.
And you won't.
No, because Griffey told me about it. I'm like, but he didn't tell me what happened. So I was like, well, I wasn't sore.
No, you weren't sore.
So,
but
you weren't roofied. So.
There are pictures.
Bruce might be my first.
I might be.
At least you.
Unfortunately, Griffey is your first.
Oh God.
There you go.
At least you weren't roofied by him, like some people here.
Hence the fact we call him Whale Slayer.
And hence the fact your brother has also been roofied by you.
I only roofied him once because that was he was talking too much.
Twice.
Whatever. So I roofied him twice.
And you roofied me once.
I roofied him once. I roofied little brother once because he was getting more attention from everybody at the house. And I felt neglected. So he had to go sleepy time.
Do you want this to roll over to part 2?
We can definitely roll this over to part 2.
Because it's an hour.
But then, sir,
So
signing off for part 1, I guess.
yeah, signing off for part 1.
Sorry for the ADHD guys. We haven't got to see each other in a while, or
Right.
we sure as shit haven't got to share any stories in
ADHD shiny.
years, probably. To be honest with you,
Right. Yeah.
I would be more than glad to do some follow-ups if anybody wanted to post on the comments, give us some ideas, tell us your own experiences, man.
Yeah.
I'd love to hear them. I mean, I subscribe to you.
Yeah.
I'd love to see what people got to say. I'd love to hear if they've got any questions. I mean, we didn't even get into a fraction
No.
of what
I
we
have a
both
lot
know
more.
and have experienced. And but we're gonna go ahead and cut this off at part 1 from my end. I am your favorite thing that goes bump in the night, Bruce.
And always, this is Derek.
Later, y'all.